2, we here, we live. Thanks for watching our Thursday episode. It means a lot to us. We got 50 subscribers. Took us only a year and a half, but we're there. Appreciate y'all for the love. Keep it up because we want to be big.
Our first video was June?
July.
Okay.
July. So appreciate the love. Keep it up. Let's keep going. We're going to bring you our Sunday predictions. Obviously, looking forward to Sunday. My Patriots could go 2-0.
They very possibly can.
And that's like something that people have been talking like, oh, they got lucky versus the Bengals. It was a fluke. The Bengals played horribly. Shut up. Shut up.
Tell them how you really feel.
Shut up. Like, we outplayed the Bengals. Simple as that on defense, and that's it. But anyways, it means a lot to be here. And I'll let EJ kick us off with what he thinks will happen this Sunday in week 2.
All right, guys. So, I'm very excited for Sunday football because... Just turn my ringer off.
Okay.
Thank you. We won't be interrupted, no mo. All right. I'm very excited for the next couple weeks of Sunday because we have hefty Sunday plates. You know what I mean? These Sunday slates are going to be very, very thick with games.
Yeah.
These Sunday games are going to be like how I like my women. Thick. All right?
Oh, my God. And for fantasy, too, they're really important.
But they're mostly top-heavy because the 1 o'clock is heavier than the 4 o'clock games. There's more games than the 1 o'clock, and I don't like my women top-heavy. But it's okay. All right, so for my first bold prediction, the Colts will get their first win in Lambeau Field in 16 years. The last time they beat the Packers in Lambeau was October 19th, 2008. Me, I was 6 years old. You were what, 7 years old?
Yeah.
We had just entered school, all right? We were in our first years of school. Hadn't even done a first 4 years yet. Hadn't even done a term with the school class yet.
I didn't even know what a football was.
Yeah, pretty much. I started watching football my 5th grade year. But either way, the Colts are going to bounce back after losing a tight one to a division opponent, the Texans, 29-27. And the main reason the Colts are also going to win this game is because Malik Willis. Malik Willis has started three games. Okay,
What you doing, Willis?
Yeah,
sorry,
for real. No, really, what you doing? Because you haven't thrown for over 100 yards in your first 3 career starts. He's never thrown for 100 yards as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
He also did play on the Titans. He got drafted by the Titans.
You can't throw for 100 yards as an NFL quarterback? What you doing, Willis? Come on.
Yeah, no,
Malik, what you doing, Willis? Because he ain't producing.
I agree.
He ain't doing that.
You're absolutely
so
right.
I got the Colts beating the Packers because I just think Malik Willis is that bad, and he is the starting quarterback for the Packers. And he may not be the starting quarterback in week 4.
Do not start any Packers receivers this game.
I wouldn't. Maybe start the tight end because Malik Willis.
Which one?
Yeah, that's a
Tucker
good idea.
Kraft or Musgrave?
Either one you can get your hands on. You can. There are a decent streaming option in fantasy football, but either way, the Colts are going to win. Now, for my second prediction, Cooper Kupp will have his second straight 90-yard game of the season. He is going to go over 90 receiving yards. Last week, he had 14 receptions on 21 targets for 110 receiving yards on a very much improved Detroit secondary. All right?
Butter, right? Because he saved you.
Oh, he saved me, man. I was down 35 points going into Sunday Night Football, and I won by 2, man. I woke up a happy man. I'm not going to lie. I did stay up until he got me. Once he got me the win, I was like...
I went to bed.
Death by Cup. Yeah, no, I slept. I didn't even care I went to overtime. Went to overtime, I went to sleep. I didn't get to watch overtime. But Amon Ra dropped 3, which we're not going to talk about. I think this is a lock because Cooper Kupp has 115 yards in 12 games against the Cardinals.
Wow.
I'm sorry, not 115 yards. 815 yards in 12 games against the Cardinals. Those 815 yards are his most against any NFL team he's ever played. So this is the team he produces the highest numbers against. I think Cooper Kupp has his second straight game over 90 yards. I believe his line is somewhere over 85.5. Cooper Kupp goes over 90 straight yards. The Cardinals allowed 232 passing yards on 23 attempts, and they also allowed the 4th most points in Week 1. This Rams offense is going to take off. take us with your bold
All
prediction,
right,
Seb.
my bold prediction for this week 2 slate of games is the Saints will beat the Cowboys.
I love it.
Or you could take the Saints money line,
Okay.
where they are plus 250 as of right now. Yes, Saints played a horrible Carolina offense. Okay, so don't get it twisted. And Dallas did show some strength versus last year's number 1 ranked Browns defense. However, this Saints defense is seriously no joke. They made it look easy versus Carolina, and Carolina's the worst team in the league as of right now, with 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, 4 sacks, and only allowing 10 points. To be fair, this Carolina offense is capable of scoring more than 10 points. Let's be honest about that. But they just suck. Haven't seen the Saints team smile as much as they did last Sunday. Yes, this Cowboys offense is way better than the Panthers offense, but I told you guys Chase Young would be a problem on this Saints defense, on the Saints team, and he showed it exactly why he was a problem against Carolina. He didn't even need to get a sack. He just had to force the pressure, and they felt his presence, and then they got scared. Bryce Young crapped his pants just seeing Chase Young come at him, and then his other teammates picked up the pieces and killed Bryce Young themselves. So already having a pretty nice secondary and Cam Jordan, I see those two giving this Cowboys offense some major problems all game. So take the Saints. If you want to bet, I'm not going to bet, but if you want, they're plus 250. I think the Saints beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys lose the first game in Jerry World since the playoffs against the Packers?
Yeah, and they didn't lose much last year in the regular season.
Not at all.
They were a juggernaut in the regular season.
So going to my 4 p.m. Bold prediction.
Seb's like, and if you want to bet, I don't want to bet. He's trying to say, for you delinquents out there, for you degenerates, you can bet. I may be a degenerate and bet on Sunday. We'll see how I'm feeling. Let's go.
Yeah, if I see any parlays in our chats, I'm gonna
$1 for 18,000. I think 3 out of 11 legs hit.
Yeah. For my 4 p.m. bold prediction, Broncos will beat the Steelers. Okay. And if you want their money line, again, plus 120, this Broncos team put up a fight in Seattle, only losing by 6. Granted, Seattle is not that good. But Bo Nix didn't have a great passing game, but he did score a rushing touchdown. I do think
he managed the game well.
Yes, he did.
He wasn't a game changer, but he managed.
He looked like a Brock Purdy.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Brock Purdy, Drew Brees type quarterback.
So, but along with that, I do think that the win in Atlanta for the Steelers last week was a fluke, and no way Sean Payton will lose. No way Sean Payton will lose this game at home in front of a very impatient crowd that has gone through a really rough few past years. Keep in mind, we will see Russ come back in town, and they don't want him to walk out of there with a victory if he does start.
Okay, now that's a big point. That's a big point. I didn't think about that. That's a big point.
If he does get the starting job this week, something could happen to Justin in the week. We don't know. Pat Surtain gave DK massive issues and faces the Steelers. He's going to shut down George Pickens. Let's just put that out there. And this game is going to force the Steelers to run the ball the majority of the time. They didn't feel comfortable doing it in Atlanta, having only 137 total rush yards between 5 players. And one of those players had -10.
And they have a rushing quarterback.
Also,
so they should be having more yards.
The Steelers didn't score one offensive touchdown all game.
Yeah.
The points came from their defense. Their defense, their special teams. That's it. You think that they're going to score touchdowns in the mile high? Please. So give me the Broncos over the Steelers.
That Steelers defense is something, though.
I understand that.
Broncos offense is trash, so the same thing can happen again. I like your Russ point, and I like your George Pickens point, because George Pickens is a lot like DK Metcalf.
It's not going to happen.
They're very similar archetype players. Big, physical, fast, deep downfield threats. Not a deep.
If you can't give it to George, who are you going to give it to?
No, I'd say Quez Watkins, but he's in street clothes.
Pat Freiermuth?
Van Jefferson.
Okay. Okay,
No,
we started off
It
high.
sounds
now
like
it's
the under in the game is a really good take.
yeah, I guess so.
Dude, I think it's like 36.5, which is extremely low. I looked at it. I was like, oh my goodness. I'd probably buy that up to 40, but it's not going to be not a fantasy friendly game.
No,
Defenses maybe though.
I'm not picking up. I already picked up one defense today. I'm not picking up
And
more.
I snagged that Patriots defense today.
Yeah, 2 minutes before I could do it. It's okay. I snagged them in Chrissy's league, so we're good. So we're even.
That was just like an immediate reaction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, where are they available?
You know what? At 6:44 a.m. I go on our league and I'm looking for the Patriots, and then I see at 6:42 the Wookiees, aka EJ Griffiths, picked up the Patriots defense, and I texted him right away. I'm not gonna say what I said, but I said some real mean things.
Yeah, it wasn't nice, but it is what it is.
Go on.
Winners get hate. All right, guys. So for my Sunday Night Football score prediction, I have the Texans pretty much blowing out the Bears 24-13, and it's going to be a low-scoring game because I do think this Bears defense is pretty good. They've improved it a lot. TJ Edwards is no joke at linebacker,
Sweat.
the former Eagle. Sweat is a dog. They have someone at safety, but their cornerback Jalen Johnson, dog. And the Bears aren't ready for the Texans. The Bears won a game. Actually, I should say the Titans lost a game in horrid fashion. The Titans were up 17-3, okay, at halftime.
Will Levis taking his knees and praying to God as he threw the last pick six. I know.
Caleb Williams, had 90. Yeah, exactly. That's horrible. Caleb Williams had 98 yards. DeAndre Swift had 30 yards.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift.
How did they win the game? They got lucky, okay, because they blocked a punt and then they returned an interception for a touchdown. So like I said, the Titans really lost the game. It wasn't so much that the Bears won the game. The Bears defense is good, though, and will hold the Texans to 24. Texans scored 29 last week, but I think they hold them down. The Texans have primetime experience with making the playoffs last year and now being in a couple primetime games. And the Bears don't have that with their playoff and primetime experience. And at home, the Texans have the edge, and they win this game 24-13.
I also have the Texans, but I have it a little closer. I got them winning 30-22.
Okay.
Both teams are coming off a week 1 victory while the Bears came back from 17 down. Granted, now with their offense, like EJ said, they came back with their special teams and defense kind of like the Steelers.
98 yards, bro.
Texans are Super Bowl contenders while the Bears are playoff contenders. There's a big difference there. It's Stroud versus Caleb, Moore versus Stingley. It's going to be a great game. Both defenses are capable of pushing their team to win. The Bears' offense scored 0 points last game, and with that, I doubt their special teams will have another performance like they did last week. But this tough Texans team also expect Tank Dell to have a big outing since like Stephon Diggs had his last game. Now it's time to switch it up. Also, if Joe Mixon plays the way he did on Sunday in this game again, the Bears have no shot. Zero chance of stopping him. So the Bears are in for a long night. I think that they're going to be playing from like behind the entire game.
I'm pretty sure Tony Pollard had a good game for the Titans.
Yes, he did.
Against that Bears defense.
Exactly. So if Tony Pollard could do it, Joe Mixon should be able to do it. But stranger things have happened. All I'm going to say is if the Texans could run the ball, pass the ball, the Bears have no shot. I have it closer than it probably is going to be. But last week we saw a bunch of games where we're like, why is this even close? How is this happening? Just like people are telling me about the Patriots. How did that happen? Well, you know what, broski? We got a top 10 defense. So. Fixing your pillows?
It was bothering me. Yeah, it's a little better. It'll be better in the next video. All right, so we both agree on Sunday Night Football. Last week we both agreed on Sunday Night Football, and we were correct. The Lions took the dub, so I would not be hesitant to think that the Texans win the game. Gen Z does.
We'll see you guys on Monday night where his Birds take on Atlanta.
It's a battle of the birds, baby.